Welcome, Warriors. I'm JoeJoe Fusion. Today, we're going to be joined by a friend I made through Facebook who is on almost the exact same journey I am. His name's Henry. And let me switch my screen here. Hey, Henry.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
Hey, so I was just mentioning that you're on almost the exact same journey I am.
Pretty much the same exact journey. The only difference is I'm going to be having a laminectomy at T1, and then my two anchor spots will be T2 and T3.
Yeah, and they're going with me C2 to C7. And they're going to fuse into T1 and T2, but I'll still have those lamina.
Yes, yeah.
So, I met you through one of the Facebook groups that we are in. It is a PCDF Facebook group. For those of you that have just started on this journey and you've stumbled on this video, I'm sure Henry will agree, one of the best things you can do is, one, use your immediate support group, which is going to be your family, your friends. If you have coworkers that you talk to, clue them in onto what you're going through. Talk to them. Let them help carry some of the emotional burden. Now, the other portion of your support group, you can go to the internet. And I went to Facebook, which I never used to use before now, and I found two groups. The one I met Henry in is one for PCDF, and I'll go ahead and pull up that here. So it is the Posterior Cervical Discectomy and Fusion PCDF group. If you search for that on YouTube, it'll bring that page up, and you can request to join. There are a lot of good people, one of them being Henry, who are on this group, very supportive. Many of them have gone through what you're about to go through, no matter what it is. Even Henry and I have found members of this group that are just like us, C2 to T2, and these are people that have gone through the surgery, so they can tell us what to expect, and here's the pain you're going to be in. I know Henry's made some friends in some of the groups he's in. The PCDF group isn't the only one you're in. What are a couple of the other ones that you've joined, Henry?
Well, I'm also in another group called Spinal Stenosis with Myelopathy.
Okay.
I'm also in another group. I'm in the ACDF group as well.
All right, let me pull up that one. I actually have. I am also in the ACDF group. I actually do have to have some ACDF work done at my 4.5 and possibly my 5.6. So they're going to go in through the front. I have some spurring that they can't reach from the back, so they'll go in through the front, and they'll take care of, like I said, 4.5, 5.6, and then they'll go into the back and fix everything up, remove my lamina and all that wonderful stuff. That group, or at least the one I'm in, is cervical disc surgery, ACDF, a new life, share your story. And if you look for that group, search for it, once again, it should come right up. Join it, or request to join it. A lot of good people there. And is that the one you're in, Henry, or is it something different?
Yeah, I'm just in the ACDF surgery page. It's I just typed in ACDF, and that was the first one that popped up.
Okay, ACDF surgery. I'll write that into a notepad, and I'll post links for the groups in the description. So when people watch it, if they want to go join any of these groups, they can. I know you're also in one for stenosis.
Yeah, it's spinal stenosis with myelopathy.
Okay. And what's myelopathy?
Myelopathy is the disease or dysfunction of your spinal cord due to compression, which could be anything from... My stenosis is central canal and
like
foramina.
Mine?
Yep. In the foramina, which is where your nerve endings come out.
Yep. From
your spinal cord. And I was born like you with a extra small spinal canal. So as my discs were degenerating, they were herniating and bulging. They were pushing centrally onto my cord, causing the compression. And it's basically the disease of your in dysfunction and your symptoms that you have with that compression going on.
Yep, and just so everybody knows, stenosis, all that means is the narrowing of the spinal canal, and that's anything that narrows your spinal canal, be it bone spurring, be it bulging discs, or anything that narrows your canal. So when you have stenosis, it doesn't necessarily mean you have bone spurs growing in there. You could have discs that are bulging, pressing on your cord, or you could have ossification of the posterior ligament. All kinds of stuff can narrow up your canal.
And I'm also in another group.
Yep.
It's called Myelomalacia.
Okay, if you would explain that.
Yeah, so myelomalacia is the thinning or like a bruise of your spinal cord. That's a permanent finding. It'll never go away. You can stop the progression or slow it down with surgery.
Okay, now your surgeons, all right, you have myelomalacia, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah.
Will your symptoms go away, or do they think they'll go away even though your cord is bruised, or are you stuck with some of them for life?
That's yet to be seen. My neurosurgeon is kind of downplaying the whole myelomalacia right now.
Okay.
Like she said, it could be like 18 months
before you know.
Before we really know.
Okay. All right. How do you spell that? Because I don't know how to spell it.
I think it's MYEOMALICIA.
All right. Well, anyway, I'll make sure it's spelled correctly in the description. So you've got the PCDF, the ACDF. There's a group on spinal stenosis if you have that, and myelomalacia if you have that. There's groups for all this stuff.
And I'm also in another group called, I like their page is Myelopathy.org, and they also have a page called Myelopathy Support Group. And it's just like any of the other groups. You can join them, and there's a lot of great people in those groups as well.
Yeah, and like we're saying, you don't have to go through this journey alone. And you know, I'm married, happily married. My wife was helping me out as best she could, even though she was there for me. There's a lot to be said about finding people that have gone or are going through it. It really helps out a lot. And I think in the beginning, and in my previous video, I mentioned when I got diagnosed, I went into straight up shock, found out I had to go through surgery. And I think you said, I don't know if it happened to you in the beginning, but your day
at first, yes.
is at first, okay, so at first same thing?
Yeah, it was kind of like a shock, and my wife, she's like, no, you're not going to take this first option. You are going to go get a second option or more if we have to make sure, because, I mean, a laminectomy, a PCLF, that we're doing,
yep.
Plus we're going to have a discectomy. I'm also having a foraminotomy. That's where they're opening up the area of the foramina.
Where the nerve roots exit the central canal off of the main spinal cord. And
I mean, this is a rough journey we're about to go on. Like, it's one of the hardest recoveries next to brain surgery, and just as painful as like a massive open heart surgery where they remove part of your rib cage to get to your heart.
Yeah, well, they're basically doing something similar. We're having whole pieces of vertebrae just cut out. So, and I believe my surgeon, and I think your surgeon said the same thing. As bad as that part sounds, they said they have to cut into the muscle, and it's the muscle spasms afterwards that are gonna be the worst.
Yes, it's one of the muscles that they're gonna kind of reposition it and suture it over top of the hardware, the titanium rods and screws we put in, to kind of give it some support or some protection. The rods are for the support and the screws are for the support, but on top of that, they're going to kind of move a muscle and kind of suture it in place. Those sutures will dissolve, and the the bone will actually sit and fuse itself on the muscle.
Yeah.
And that whole process, I mean, it could be a year. You'll still get some sort of muscle spasms, but that's very painful. That's what my neurosurgeon told me.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that's kind of cool is we have almost the exact same thing, except Henry has bruising on his cord. I got lucky enough and I don't. And actually, if you're looking at your MRI, your T1 signaling, you're going to see that on your MRI. That actually helps your doctor know if you have any damage or bruising to the cord, because that signaling will be abnormal. So if you see no abnormality in T1 signal, chances are you don't have damage done to the cord yet. And even Henry, his cord is bruised, but as he was saying, there's a chance his cord will be bruised, but the symptoms may still go away and he'll be fine. This surgery that we're having, and this is basically what my surgeon was saying, it's pretty much definitive. Once we have this done, as far as our neck goes, pending no complications, we're done. Like, our nerves are protected. So all the nerves for your arms are from, all the way from your C1 straight down to your T2, and that's every nerve that controls movement of your arms and your upper portion of your chest here. If all that's protected, like I said, pending no complications, but say everything goes well, we'll always have use of our arms. So no matter what else happens to our back, say we have something lower because we have a congenitally narrow canal, at least our arms will be good. I mean, don't get me wrong, we don't want to go paralyzed, but at the same time, and as much as this sucks, at least we know for the most part, we'll have our arms and our head, and we'll be able to breathe for the most part. So,
that's my neurosurgeon said the same exact thing. She could have went in through the front and fused me off there. It would have been a longer recovery time, and also she said I would have ended up having the laminectomy within a year.
Yes, you'd have to go back in.
Yeah, she goes, you can have it. Get a one and done. And the only thing that it might still be on the table is some of the foramina where they're going to try to get to. It's kind of hard to get from the back of the neck. She's going to try. I may have to go in eventually and through the front, just like it's called a keyhole surgery, and just open up the.
That's, I think. I mean, I don't know if it's in my foramina, but I think that's why they're going up to the front in me, because I have spurring on the front that they want to get rid of. So that's why they're...
could be the same exact thing they're going to do.
Yeah, so... but basically, I guess it's a kind of a bright side in all this crap, is the fact that, we'll have our arms. We'll lose motion in our neck. The cool thing, we have the same stuff going on roughly. Henry is having his surgery done by a neurosurgeon. I'm having my surgery done by an orthopedic surgeon. And it's going to be interesting to see after this is done, is there a difference? Am I in more pain, or is he in more pain? Or do I have better motion? Or talk to my sister who's a surgical nurse. She works with spine surgeons, both orthopedic and neuro. She said as long as the surgeon is competent, that you don't have much to worry about. She said usually the neurosurgeons, while the orthopedics also pay extreme attention to the spinal cord. Nobody messes around with this. There might be certain little things that a neurosurgeon does that are a little different when dealing with certain nerves. But she said some of the orthopedic surgeons she worked with are the best in the world for this stuff. So like she said, if the surgeon is competent, it's not that big a deal. So neurosurgeon is going to concentrate on the nerves. Maybe, this is all hypothetical, maybe Henry ends up with less nerve damage, or his nerves are super protected and I walk away with a little thing here so I have tingling forever. I mean, we don't really know.
No, we don't. And there is a couple subtle differences that we've already seen.
Yeah, especially with the bracing. Because my orthopedic surgeon, the one thing that the orthopedic may concentrate a little more on is mechanical movement. So is my movement going to be any different than yours? And that, like bracing, right? Here, I'm going to bring up your picture of your brace, okay? So right now, Henry can't see this. He's phoned in, but it's a picture of you in the chair. You're looking forward, and there's a guy that looks like.
That's the. That was the prosthetic guy who fitted me for my Miami J collar with the T-spine like chest piece. That's a stabilizer, a thoracic spine stabilizer.
Yep, and this has your whole neck, and then you've got the back piece that goes down the front, and your chest piece goes further down towards. It almost looks like where your what the heck is that? You know where your breastbone is, right at the I can't remember what that's called, but that middle part where when you go to give someone chest compressions.
Yeah, it's called the chest bone.
Yeah, so that's yours. And you're in that you're 24/7 for 3 months. All right, now I'm going to pull up mine. Let's see if I can move this. I'll move this picture right under your picture, so they'll have both. Let's see, as I manipulate windows. So now there's your picture, and underneath your picture is a picture of your collar. Now I'll bring up mine, and there's mine. It is an Aspen collar. Now, the picture's dark. I wish I would have made it a little brighter, but I just took it real quick. But you can see my collar is nowhere near as I don't want to use the word significant, but mine does not go as far down onto the breastbone as yours does. It doesn't appear. I have no back piece, and even the back of that collar doesn't go. I don't think it goes as high up, or doesn't. It's not as the back piece isn't as big as yours. It's there, but it's not as big.
I don't think it rises as high.
Now, and my surgeon, I saw his PA today, basically said that I don't have to wear mine 24/7. If I'm just sitting or laying down, there's no need for me to have the collar on. And when I shower, I believe I can remove the collar and shower. I did get a shower collar as well, so I could shower with a collar if it makes me feel safer. I probably will, because I'm an idiot. I'll move my head, even though that's not necessarily a bad thing. You should limit head movement after surgery as much as you can, but you're going to move your head a little bit.
The one thing, too, is I can take mine off to shower.
Okay.
And I can take it off actually once to eat one meal.
Okay. See, mine, I can have off if I'm sitting down. If I'm sitting, if I'm laying. What he said is if I'm up and moving around, and a good way to mark it or to go about it, if I'm going to be up for more than 5 minutes, put the collar on.
Yeah.
So, like, if I'm out walking, collar's going to be on. I'll probably overwear it, at least at first, because I am worried that I'll move my head or something. This thing is going to stabilize me, and it's going to prevent me from doing anything stupid as far as, looking around. So, I think I'm going to wear this. I'm going to be on the safe side with how much I wear this. Whereas you have less of a choice. It's doctor's orders. But even there, the neurosurgeon and the orthopedic, and to be honest, I've even seen 2 orthopedic surgeons put 2 of the similar patients through the same thing. We see it on the board all the time. One person will come in and go, I'm in this for 3 months, and another one will say, I don't even have to wear a collar. I know a woman I met through the ACDF board I'm on. She had 4 levels ACDF, and then another 7 PCDF in the back. I don't believe she had laminectomy. Maybe that's also a reason for the collar, like you said. You have a laminectomy at T1. I don't. Maybe that's where the difference is. But she didn't have to wear a collar at all.
Yeah, but I think she had what's called a laminoplasty.
This is someone different. That other lady, the one that said 3 weeks and she's in almost no pain. Yeah, that like you said, that she had laminoplasty and not laminectomy, which there's a big difference. On one of our boards, we were talking with great people, and this one lady said that it's 3 weeks and she's almost was she off pain meds? She's taking just Tylenol.
Pain meds after, pain meds after day 10 and just Tylenol. And so I was like, wow, with a laminectomy, and no, I asked with a fusion, and she said no fusion. So when they do a laminoplasty, there is no fusion needed.
Okay.
Usually because you don't the degenerative changes in your neck, so your neck is stable. They can just go open that lamina up like a door and put like a little spring there. The only other thing is, though, too, sometimes doctors are doing this now. It's a quick surgery, give you, 5-10 years, and then go back in and go in and do the laminectomy with fusion then.
Yeah, as far as us,
gives you a little bit more
one and done. Yeah.
It gives you a little bit more flexibility in movement, like range of motion in your neck. With the myelomalacia right there, I mean, that has to be a significant blow to your neck to cause that. I don't want to mess around. I don't want to have to go in and do it again. Like my surgeon told me, like this could be a one and done.